to see the general.
And the horror is no longer out there.
They're like little vampires.
It's here.
Where are you?
Arachnophobia. Rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you.
Burger Dairy presents Freshness Defined. Fresh from local farms, freshness and quality guaranteed. Burger Dairy, taste you can trust, freshness you deserve.
At WANE TV, we're making a difference you can see with Lee Kelso, Karen Hensel, and Sandy Thompson. Now, here's your first full look at the latest news, live on First at 5.
Tonight, parents on Fort Wayne's north side are keeping a watchful eye on their children. An attempted kidnapping at this shopping center in broad daylight is opening adult eyes to how vulnerable our youngsters can be.
Do you know what precautions you need to take to keep your little ones safe? Well, we have some important advice just ahead in today's cover story. Good afternoon. I'm Lee Kelso.
And I'm Karen Hensel. Today, 43 million Americans are celebrating Independence Day as a new law guarantees them freedoms many of us take for granted.
But will the American with Disabilities Act really make a difference? We're going to ask a man who has waited a lifetime for equal access.
And last night, one of comedy's brightest stars really mangled the Star-Spangled Banner.
Well, after hearing that, we took the streets to find out what you think of Roseanne Barr's rendition of the national anthem. We'll have that for you a little bit later on.
But before we begin, here's Sandy with your first look at the weather.
Well, our high temperature for this afternoon was 81 degrees. That is our current temperature as well. Looks like it's going to be a very pleasant evening for us, but what's up for tomorrow? We'll find out in the forecast. It's coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sandy. Every detective in the Fort Wayne Police Department has one thing on their mind today. Who tried to abduct an 8-year-old girl from the Northcrest Shopping Center?
The little Angola girl was waiting in her mom's car while her mom was shopping yesterday. It happened about 11 o'clock in the morning. The girl told police a man wearing gloves reached in and tried to put his hand over her mouth. That's when she screamed and he fled.
The suspect is described as a white male, 40 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall. He is of thin build and balding with brown hair, wearing blue jeans and a striped shirt. His car is described as a red or reddish-brown four-door.
The news of that attempted abduction brought to the minds of most of us around here the murder of 7-year-old Sarah Bowker. Both of these incidents happened on the north side of town, and of course the girls are about the same age.
Our Jeff Newmeyer has spent the day talking with people working on that case, and one person he talked with is also Sarah's father. Jeff joins us now live from the newsroom. Jeff, how are the Bowkers feeling today?
Well, Karen and Lee, clearly I think the news of this attempted abduction sort of brings back bad memories at a time when the Bowkers are still trying to deal with the emotional distress of the death of their daughter. Now, I talked with Galen Bowker, that's Sarah's father, today, and I sensed sort of a glimmer of hope from him that this case might provide a lead that could possibly help police catch their daughter's killer. That is, if the two cases are connected. And at this point, we really don't know if they are or not. Now, Galen told me that they really haven't heard a whole lot from police in the past few weeks. Mrs. Bowker, earlier this week, did call detectives, but was given very little information about the progress on that particular murder investigation. In a very slow and quiet voice today, Mr. Bowker told me that he classified this as sort of a good day, but it's been in the last 6 weeks for he and his wife like an emotional roller coaster ride. I really had to feel for him when he told me about a recent survivors support meeting when he and his wife attended, and they spent most of the evening just trying to keep from breaking down.
I'm sure it's been very tough.
Yeah, it has. Jeff will have more on the abduction last night and some of the details surrounding that on News 15 at 6, right, Jeff?
Yes, we will be, and we'll be talking about where they stand on this case.
Good. We'll look forward to it. Thanks very much.
Jeff.
You know, across the country as well as here in Indiana, the sexual abuse of children has been one of the fastest growing categories of crime in the last 5 years. And some people say that may be because more abuse cases are being reported, but others feel the actual incidence of child sexual abuse is on the rise.
Yesterday's attempted abduction at Northcrest is just another jolting reminder to parents that you can just never take your child's safety for granted. Experts say there are a few simple steps you can take to protect your kids, and that includes setting up some family safety rules.
SCAN is a local child protection agency, and they've put together just such a guide for parents. The education director for SCAN, Sharon Martin, is now live in our newsroom as well. Sharon, a lot of these rules are really very common sense rules. I mean, they just are down-home common sense. But parents shouldn't be taking them for granted, right?
That's exactly right. And oftentimes, Lee, when something such as happened last night comes to the forefront and is on the news, we once again are warned and are aware of the fact that we need to teach our kids family safety rules.
And after talking with you, we put together a top 5 list. Can you go through some of the top 5 things we need to be looking at with our kids?
Yes, we need to teach our kids, first of all, common things such as their name, address, phone number, including the area code, because sometimes children that are abducted are not retained locally. They are taken out of the state and out of the local area, so they need to know their area code. Secondly, they need to know the difference between good, bad, confusing, and necessary touches. Children need to know that they are loved and that they feel free. They need to feel free to show love back, but they need to know when the touches need to be open and not secretive. They need to know that they have the right to say no to an adult if they are asked to participate in touches in the private zone area. We need to empower our children to say no to adults. Follow rules, not exactly what the people are asking them to do. For example, if they try to force them or try to lure them. They need to know, say no, loudly scream, kick, and run. For example, we could, if we are working with our kids back and forth, we could teach them a secret code word that only the family members know. And no one else should know that code word, and if someone knows the code word and picks them up, then that's appropriate, but no one else should know the code word. The children should also follow the same route to and from school and not take shortcuts into dangerous situations. For example, they should they should not go to alleys, vacant lots, deserted buildings, and so on. Something that has happened, Lee, instills fear in us, but education can also help us with that fear. Little fear is a healthy emotion, but we need to be cautious and be aware.
Yeah, you told me that it's important that we don't make our kids terrified to be outside on their own, that we as parents are really going to be the controlling factor in how they respond to the fears we make them aware of.
That's exactly right, because if we as parents show extreme fear and feel threatened, the children will take on that fear and feel threatened in proportion to how we feel threatened. We need to be appropriately fearful and be cautious to just a certain extent. Help the children, support the children, talk through their fears. Don't ignore their fears. It's very important.
Sharon, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Sorry that we need to cut you off.
That's
we have a lot
okay.
to get to today, and we have to run, but we appreciate your advice.
Thanks,
and we
Sharon.
want to let you folks at home know that SCAN does have that list of tips in and more together for you, and if you send a self-addressed stamped envelope, they will mail it on out to you. Their address is in the phone book. You know, it seems like a pretty good time to remind you about something that is coming up to help SCAN, and that's the Rubber Ducky Race, your chance to adopt a duck and win an American Airlines ticket for 2 off to Europe or some other prizes.
You can adopt a duck for $5 at any Rogers supermarket, Fort Wayne area Wendy's, or Domino's Pizza. The Great Rubber Ducky Race will be held Saturday, August 4th. The ducks will be unleashed to race down the St. Mary's River at 10:30 that morning. It is a lot of fun, and all the proceeds do go to SCAN.
Well, there is a follow-up to the lead story we had for you yesterday afternoon, and that is that we may never know for certain what caused Tuesday night's fatal house explosion east of New Haven, although investigators do have a hunch. Right now, the probe is centering on a couple of valves, one in a propane gas line, the other in a gas-burning fireplace log. An investigator with the Fire Arson Specialized Team is telling News 15 today that the gas could have been leaking for quite some time, but the precise conditions which led to the blast never really fell into place until Tuesday night. Because the house exploded with so much force, they believe now the basement could have been completely saturated. Insurance company experts were at the scene today. 69-year-old John Harper was killed in the blast, but there will be no autopsy to determine the exact cause of his death.
Should a Huntington police captain be charged in the death of a Fort Wayne man? Well, a special grand jury will reconvene at 9:30 tomorrow morning in Huntington to try to decide the answer to that question. 29-year-old Michael Fishers died June 21st after he was shot twice. Investigators say the shots were fired by off-duty police captain Gerald Sailors. The two are described as close friends and had apparently gotten into an argument in Sailors' car that night. So far, the grand jury has heard from Sailors himself, state police detectives, and Huntington police officials. They stopped meeting more than a month ago to wait for lab tests and more evidence. We'll be down in Huntington following the grand jury, and we will have an update tomorrow on First at 5. Well, just ahead today, a gorgeous day outside today. Will the sunny skies be back tomorrow? Sandy joins us next with the answer.
And even though you won't find them there on the map, big changes are moving in Ohio, and we'll have that story for you at 6 tonight.
The Buckeye State got a new state capital today. I'm Frank Suarez. Coming up at 6, I'll tell you how Bryan, Ohio is the new state capital. Sort of.
Would you like to trade your car or truck every 2 years for a new model with no worries about a big down payment and still have a very affordable monthly payment? Allen County Motors can make it happen for you with a red carpet lease plan. Drive a new 1990 Tempo for only $238 a month, or a new 1990 Ranger, only $188 a month. Get similar values on many other Ford models at Allen County Motors, #1 in customer satisfaction.
We want to be your Ford dealer.
Allen County Motors, our name means more.
Mark this weekend on your calendar. This weekend, the Tri-State area's most unique furniture store, Antiques and More, opens its doors for a Saturday and Sunday only truckload sale of fine antique furniture and more. You'll shop over 5,000 square feet of antique furniture, collectibles, decorator accessories, and handmade crafts with one of the largest collections of American gold and oak furniture in the Tri-State area. It's all happening this weekend, Saturday 9 a.m. till 9 p.m., Sunday noon till 6. Antiques and More is easy to find. Just 2 blocks north of Glenbrook on Speedway Drive off Coliseum Boulevard. Put a bit of yesterday in your tomorrow this weekend.
I like to run around and play a lot. I like to wear clothes that you could dress up in. Cool pants. I don't really care.
If you're getting ready to get back to school, take a new look at Rob Roy at Walmart. Because these clothes are nothing less than excellent.
Take a look. Favorite colors are fluorescent, black and white. I have no ideas.
Take a new look at Walmart.
Pleats are very nice. We talk about girls.
Because we took a new look at you.
The official truck of the Three Rivers Festival was GMC, and now Collins GMC truck offers extra discounts on those trucks driven by festival officials. This is a special group of GMC Safaris, Jimmys, and full-size pickups with low mileage, new truck titles, warranties, and factory discounts. All factory incentives and rebates apply, but each Three Rivers Festival GMC truck is priced with an extra discount for the best savings ever, now at Collins GMC truck on Coldwater Road, just north of Glenbrook.
Well, I'll tell you what, Santa, give us another carbon copy of today tomorrow, and we'll all be happy.
Is that all I get is just happy?
That's it.
I'll take bribery, anything, you know? Well, we're sure going to try. We've got a great evening going on outside right now. If you have any plans, try to make them outdoor activities tonight and take advantage of this really fine weather. 81 degrees in Fort Wayne. Temperatures climb as high as a hot 90 this afternoon down in Evansville, and they're still reading 90 degrees at 5 o'clock. Cincinnati, a little bit warm at 84 degrees, and temperatures move on up the scale there into 81 degrees in the Toledo area. So as you can see, the Great Lakes region is looking really fine tonight. Our satellite image shows clear skies for part of the area. Some light clouds floating over northern Indiana right now, most of those at a very high level, and don't worry about them. We don't have any rain on the way tonight, but as we check back west here, that is what is going to be in our forecast. In fact, we do have rain in our extended forecast, and on the 6 o'clock news, we'll take an extended look at the radar pictures and find out how close that is to us. Meanwhile, don't worry about it tonight or tomorrow, because we're going to have another great day. Karen asked for one, so we're going to give her one. Temperatures tomorrow are going to continue to be in the 80s in the Hoosier State, and it looks like more sunshine in store for us. Tonight, a lovely evening, overnight low at 61 degrees, fair and mild conditions, and then for tomorrow, clear skies, and temperatures move up the scale a little bit to about 87. So do enjoy.
We'll try to do that.
That you will.
Thanks, Sandy.
The wife of the Vice President, Dan Quayle, is back home again today after weekend surgery. We'll have an update on her condition when First at 5 continues.
Also ahead for millions of America, this is the day they have waited years for. The ability to go anywhere they want to.
Every man, woman, and child with a disability can now pass through once closed doors into a bright new era of equality, independence, and freedom.
Join the American Lung Association on the 7th annual Bike Trek the weekend of August 25th. All donations you raise go to help children with lung disease, so call 426-1170 and sign up today.
In 1989, Buick LeSabre was ranked the most trouble-free American car by J.D. Power and Associates. So how does Buick top that? 1990. Buick LeSabre is ranked the most trouble-free American car for the second year running. And now, Buick is ranked the most trouble-free line of American cars. Now through August 2nd, get up to $3,000 factory cash back on select Buick models. Plus, you can still get 1991 Buicks at 1990 prices. See your Better Buick dealer now and get
This year's biggest savings.
The difference clouds make.
You've probably seen them. Pruning crews are trimming trees all over the city, and it's all part of a 5-year plan to help keep Fort Wayne's foliage in check.
But this morning, crews met with protests from some residents who really don't want their trees touched by the city's saws. Assistant Forester Bill Dietrich says low-hanging branches have been obstructing the view of traffic, and crews finished up some of their work this morning despite objections. They'll be showing up in neighborhoods all across the city until their 5-year project is all wrapped up.
Mysterious circles have been cropping up in British fields for the past 3 centuries, and for about that long, scientists have been trying to find out where they're coming from. In the last couple of years, more and more of the circles have been turned.